Hey guys, it's Doc from the Gold Hog, and today this is probably one of the stranger videos I've shot because today I'm actually trying to lose gold. This ties into an article that I'm doing, and what I'm trying to point out is pushing a sluice to the extreme and trying to get it to lose gold, to actually tune your sluice. So what I'm doing is, and this ties into, we're actually doing, coming out with a new product probably in about 2 months. And some of this ties into that new product, and I'm having to do some testing, but I figured I'd also, for this article that I'm doing, I'd try and do something as far as pushing the new washer mat. So what I'm doing today is I'm taking about 1 gallon of Oregon black beach sands, I'm mixing in some fine gold to it. I took some 100 mesh gold, I classified sub 100 mesh, I took sub 50 mesh, I put a bunch of gold, I ended up putting a bunch of gold in this. So I'm going to walk you through it, but my goal, remember, this really isn't a washer mat video. What this is this is sort of an extreme, pushing your sluice to the extreme video. I'm trying to get this thing to lose gold. I'm running it really hot. I'm running it at 12-degree pitch, 100 gallons per inch, and for this washer mat, if you don't know anything about it, that's pretty strong. I'm trying to get it down to almost pure gold, rip it, strip it, and I'm trying to get losses out of this thing. So let me show you what I'm doing, and I'll walk you through it a little bit. I've got about 1 gallon of Oregon black beach sands, and what I've done is I've screened out 50 mesh gold. I'll probably put that up on the screen. I've screened out sub 100 mesh gold, and then I've got 50 sub 50 gold, sub 50 mesh gold, and I can't even remember, maybe a couple grams of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it through this little test sluice that we have at 100 gallons per inch at a 12-degree pitch across the new washer mat. I'm not trying to capture 100% of this. What I'm trying to get is about a 90%, 95%, but strip that gallon down to just a few tablespoons. That's number one. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I've completely cleaned this gold cube out really well. And by the way, if you have a gold cube, get a bottle, spray bottle, watered down, jet dry, and just spray your mats. It works so well. And then I'm going to take all the tailings from here and I'm going to run them through the gold cube over here, and I'm going to see what didn't get caught by the washer mat. Now the washer mat, you have to understand, we don't promote this as a 100% capture system. This is a stripping system. So you can take 2 gallons of concentrates, strip it down to just a few tablespoons. This really is a final cleanup process. And the majority of your 100% clean gold will be sitting here and here in these 2 mats. So you'll have 2 tablespoons. And if you haven't seen it, go watch the video that's on YouTube about where I take, it's about 46 grams of gold and 2.5 gallons of concentrates, and I strip it down to about 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons. That's what this washer mat is for. People get confused. They think it's a sluice mat or they're supposed to capture 100%. That's not the point of it. The point of it is eliminate all of those final cleanup steps of classifying from, you go from 1/8 to 12 mesh to 30 mesh to 20 mesh. Down to 50 mesh to 100 mesh. This eliminates all that time. 15 minutes, you strip almost all your gold out, and you're down. Take 2 gallons of concentrates down to maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons. Man, it's just wonderful. But the other point to this, and this is what a lot of people miss, is that these first 2 mats are going to be bare except for almost pure gold. That's the main thing that we want to do. Now you have to have some kind of feeder system up here that keeps the water from blowing across here, but you want this mat kind of aggressive and turbulent. You don't want it too soft. The water will eventually settle down and you'll see a little bit more black sand. But anyways, so I'm just going to run this. I thought I'd document it. Heck, why not show it? It's got a day to kill, so this is a good one to do it on. Okay, and so you can see what I'm sort of doing here. I'm taking these dry beach sands and I'm feeding it into this header box up here. And I've got a gap, let me show you that, but I'm just feeding it into here, running them in. But I've created this gap under here. It's about 1/8 of an inch gap, and I'm allowing that water to shoot out of that box. And you can already see the line of gold forming. But that's the main thing about this washer mat, is it's a stripping mat. It's not a capture mat, it's a stripping mat. So I should have pretty much pure gold here, close to pure gold here, and as I come down, maybe have a little bit more black sand. But today I'm really pushing this. What I'm doing is I've got it at 12-degree pitch. I'm really stripping this hard. Okay, so it maybe took me 5 minutes to run that gallon. And you can see what the mats look like. Almost solid pure gold here. Almost solid pure gold here. Another mat, almost pure gold. So I'm really stripping this down. I'm really running this hard, and that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to run this really hard and fast. Okay, so the point of this test is really working with hydraulic equivalents. And the problem that you'll always have when you're running black beach sands is that you've got real issues with hydraulic equivalents. You've got two materials that really are very, very close in the spectrum of hydraulic drag. So that's why I wanted to run this really hot, and I know I'm going to see gold almost all the way down. But you can see I've got a higher concentration up here. This is my first mat. Then I come down to my second mat, I have a little bit less. Then I come down, and as I go down here, it's kind of hard with this lighting, but as I come down here, I'm finding less and less and less gold down here. But I see gold on this very last strips down here. So I know that there's going to be some gold down here. That's not the point. The point is I only have probably 1 to 2 tablespoons of material in this matting, all told. There's only 2 tablespoons, if that, of material left in here out of an entire gallon of black beach sands with a bunch of gold in it. That's the point of the washer mat. A lot of people can't get that through their head. So now I do have gold up in this header box too. I have a piece of UR mat down in there, and there's quite a bit of gold down there. So it'll be interesting to see, but you can sort of see this transition. Heavy gold, less gold, less gold, less gold, very little gold, but I still see gold down here because I was running it so hot. And I'm seeing 150 and 200 mesh gold all down in here too. So this will be interesting. Again, this is a 12-degree pitch, pretty hot. A lot of people run theirs about 9 degrees. I'm running this at 12 degrees, really hot. Okay, so I'm just leaving this mat in here for a minute, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these concentrates, I'm going to take the tailings and run them through the gold cube, and I should see quite a bit of gold in there. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so don't forget, now my goal here today is to force heavy losses on this mat. That's kind of what I'm doing with this run. Normally I should see more black sand on these lower mats down here. I should see a lot more black sand. But today I ran, and I'm only running fine black Oregon black beach sand, and I ran it at a 12-degree pitch. Actually, it was a 12.3-degree pitch, which is really hot for that fine a material running through here. So I wanted to force losses into my tailings. So what I did was I ran all that, and I ran it through the cube. So I know that there's gold in here because I could see it sliding down the tray as I was feeding it. So I know that there's gold in here, and that's what I want. I want to see losses from that mat into here. It's kind of weird, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do today. I'm trying to force the losses. Okay, I don't have any real good plan for this, but I did want to show you this. Let me get some shade. So here's tray number 1. So here's tray number 1, and I've got about a cup of material, supercons, out of tray number 1. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. Is we like to run our cons through the washer mat first, strip out a lot of that gold, get it down to 2 to 3 tablespoons, then run it through the gold cube. Now I've got this, which I can run back through the washer mat and strip again, but we're playing today, again, we're playing with something different. So that's out of tray number 1, out of the gold cube. Oregon Black Beach Sands, about 1 cup. Well, I'm actually kind of surprised, to be honest. I thought there would be more on the losses side, because I'm trying to force the losses today. So that's the first tray of the gold cube. You know, there's no way to really get a count on this, but, you know, after doing that count on Facebook the other day, and that's something you need to go see. We did an accurate count of sub 100 mesh gold, and there's 1,500 pieces per grain. Per grain, not gram. You need to go look at that count that we did. So I don't know. I'm not even going to risk saying a number count, but I mean, that's not a lot of gold compared to what was in the sluice. And for trying to force losses and stripping down 1 gallon, I'm going to end up having about 1.5 tablespoons in my washer mat. Having that in the first tray of the gold cube is actually kind of impressive to me. So let's see what's on the other trays. Okay, and sort of as I expected, tray number 2, basically all sub 100 mesh, and it looks like a lot of 150 and 200s in there too. And that's tray number 2 of the gold cube. All right, so here's tray number 3 real quick, and I'm barely seeing any gold in there. There's a few pieces of like 200 mesh gold in here, but that's tray number 3 from the gold cube. Almost nothing, completely bare. That's really good. Again, that's the way. Now we're only running 1 gallon of black sand, so that doesn't make it as challenging. But that's a really good test right there. It's good. Okay, so I thought I'd give you a perspective on this. So here's the inner system where we were dumping it. You can see gold right there. And then this is the first mat. It's kind of hard in this light. So here's the first mat, second mat, then coming all the way down, and I'm seeing gold just about all the way down, just a lot less of it. And I mean, we're talking gold. It's all sub 100 that I added. Then I add some more sub 50 screen mesh gold. So the stuff is very, very fine. So we'll clean this out real quick and see what it looks like. All right, so as usual and as expected, there's my total concentrates from the washer mat, and it's about 3 tablespoons. And that's kind of, if you see our other videos on the washer mat, that's kind of where we're going with this. We typically pull on a normal run, we'll pull 95 to 99% of our gold out of our concentrates, then have that gold sitting in 3 tablespoons versus, you know, 3 or 4 cups. Then we take our tailings, run them through the cube, and pull out everything else. So, but today I just want to show you that. So that's about 3 tablespoons. So let me just sort of tap it around and pan it real quick. Okay, I didn't realize how much gold I put in here, or how much gold was actually in. This is, again, I screened 100 mesh gold out, put it in. Then I said, well, what the heck, let's go to 50 mesh too and include that in there. A couple of pieces fell out of my screen. You know, they were a little bit bigger than 50, but everything else is sub 50 and sub 100. So I've got a lot of 100, 150, and 200 mesh gold, plus a lot of 50 and so on. But that's a lot of gold. Now this is a pile. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many grams that is. Now let me just spread it out. All right, so I just took a little portion of this and spread it out so you can see what I'm talking about. That's a lot of fine gold. Alright, so you have to excuse the annoying bird that's sitting outside my garage right now. Anyways, this test, this really wasn't a test to sort of prove capture rates or anything like that, but I just wanted to document it. So there's a bunch of different stuff, but I thought I'd record it just so you get a better understanding what we're talking about with the washer mat stripping, stripping, stripping. It's not a sluice mat. We're not going for 100%. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take, 2 gallons of concentrates down to tablespoons, and that's what it does. That's why it's an amazing product. And if you have a gold cube and you run your cube, you want to clean it up real fast, you get about 3 cups of concentrates, run it across the washer mat. They're a match made in heaven. They really are. Phenomenal pairing. So, yeah, we won't run without it now. Period. Okay, so here are the two, this is basically all the gold from the 2 test runs. This is from the primary run at 12 degrees with the washer mat. This is the gold from the gold cube, and I'm going to take these 2 out. I'm going to dry them, weigh them just for the heck of it, and figured I'd record it for you. Okay, and if you don't have one of these little gold trays, get one. They're really cool. These gold trays, we actually have them, we make them and actually sell them, but you can put it on your burner and put it right next to your vent, and all the vapors will go down into your vent if you've got this kind of a setup, and it's just pretty cool. Okay, excuse the vent fan because I've got my exact scale here. This is a very, very exact, this goes down to 0.00 grains. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gold that was in the tailings from the gold cube, which I do not have all the black sand out of, but I don't want to risk taking any more gold out. So I'm going to weigh that onto here and see what it comes up as. I'm going to make sure we go into grain mode. There's the grains, and I'm going to put this down so I don't spill it. Okay, and so you can see, let me shut this fan off real quick. So you can see I've got 0.90 grains, not grams, grains. It's fluctuating, and that's why this thing has a little air case on it. But you can see those are the losses. Close that down, and it'll balance out at 0.92 grains. That was in the tailings. That's what the gold cube caught. Now let's weigh out the other one. Okay, so same thing. We're going to dry out the gold from the washer mat. I don't have it 100% clean, but I got chores to do, so I'm not really worried about it. But again, I love this little gold tray. Just sit it, point it towards the vent. All the smoke will travel down here and go down in here. And then once it's dry, you can just set it on top of here and it'll cool off. Okay, so I went ahead and here is the gold out of the washer mat. I weighed it out. Again, this is all. I think I got it all. Yep. So I've got 11.19 grams. Again, that's out of the washer mat. That's all sub 50 mesh. A lot of 100 mesh, a lot of 50 mesh, a lot of 150, some 200. So pretty cool. Not 100% clean, but close enough. I got stuff to do today. So pretty good test. About 11.2 versus 1 grain, and then I'll do that calculation in a second. All right, so I mean, this just so you can understand what I'm doing here real quickly and what I'm trying to figure out. I had 11.19 grams captured times 15.43 grains equals 172.66 grains total captured. I had 0.92 grains captured in my tailings. So if I take that divided by the 172 point, I get 0.005 minus 100. So it gives me, I mean, I'm over on that run over 99%. So that's pretty good. Real happy with that. That's good little run. Again, we're not here to do accurate testing and capture rates, but that was just a good run. Oregon Black Beach Sands, all 50, sub 50 mesh gold. Total run through there was 11 grams. And again, we caught, probably 99% of it. We didn't run a huge amount of material. It was just 1 gallon, so, but I like it. The biggest point of this is I took 1 gallon. Let me make sure you understand this. Okay, I hope you can see this, but this is the kind of stuff we're working on right now. So I took 1 gallon of concentrates or Black Beach Sands. This is kind of the way we do it. Took 1 gallon, which equals 256 tablespoons in a gallon. I reduced that amount down to 3 tablespoons in the washer mat, running it at 12 degrees, 100 gallons per inch. So my reduction rate comes down to 99% reduction over 99. So I'm reducing a gallon of concentrates by 99%, having a 99% capture rate. That's the washer mat. This whole little calculation here is what we want to see. I don't care that it's 100% or even 95%. What I care about is 1 or 2 gallons reduced down to 3 tablespoons, and the majority of my gold sitting in that 3 tablespoons.